What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with this week's Power Rankings video. And man, it's a great one. Lots of diversity this week. I can't wait to dive into the deck this week.
I know there's an exciting new variant of a deck on the scene, and we are going to break it down.
Yes, so if you are new to the series and you don't know what we're doing here every week, each week we track Onomats as it plays in tournaments around the community, and then we see how Onomats finish, and then we assign it points based on how it finishes. So if Onomats gets a first place finish, it's going to get 6 points. If Onomats gets a second place finish, it's going to get 4 points. A top 4 Onomats will get 2 points, and a top 8 for Onomats will have scored a single point.
That's right, Circus. And to make sure that our scale of tracking how well Onomats do across all tournaments is consistent, all of the tournaments have to have the same format, that being rounds of Swiss into a top cut, and one Onomat deck plus a 7-card side, which you can side in skills if you wish. And the tournaments that met that criteria this week were the Battle Phase Series, the Meta Series, the Ruby League, and the Mamaker Cup. So 10 tournaments once again. Nice to see a lot of them this week.
So we'll see what decks made it into the top 5. I'm just kidding. There's only one deck worth looking at this week, and we're going to get right into number 1.
Man, who cares about it? No one cares about this, right? Does anyone care what's happening on the screen right now?
Was there any question? Coming in number 1, the only deck worth playing anymore. If this isn't tier 0, I don't know what is at this point. Onomats with 117 points, 100 points above second place. Who cares who's second, third, or fourth at this point, Kamel?
This is just rough, and I don't think we have ever been in a situation like this in Duel Links. It's truly unique. Coming off the bat of the KC Grand Tournament that just finished, where a lot of people, it was no secret that Onomats were the deck to beat. Mm-hmm. Their strategy, Onomats themselves were public enemy number 1, and they're proving to be that in tournaments as they have for the past several weeks. And a lot of people ask, why Onomats so good? Onomats, while they're not as oppressive as previous tier 1, tier 0, whatever you will call them, decks, they do a little bit of everything, and they do it very well. And they do it very consistently. And they do it considerably more consistently than any other deck in the meta. And they have a lot more comeback potential than any other deck in the meta. And that is why they are on top each and every week.
Honestly, I wish we were tracking this kind of stuff back when Dark Lords was out. Because I would love to be able to compare the two. Because since we've been recording the data, this is the most dominant deck within its own meta. So settle down. I know there's better decks than Onomats, stronger ones, but within its own meta, by far the best one.
Yes, while I will say Dark Lords, they had an extremely dominant run. There were other decks like Invoked, some other things that did also get wins alongside them. They didn't have terrible matchups. But Onomats, it's like they beat 90% of decks unless there is a deck built to beat them, like Shiranui, for example, which last week was number 2. How did it do this week, Circus?
Who cares? It's at least 100 points behind. It's at least 100 points behind. Who cares?
Oh, my God.
We'll look at it later. But, okay, check this out. We talked about this a little bit before doing the video. So there were 10 tournaments. So each tournament has a top 8. So there's 8 spots in each tournament times 10 tournaments, right? So it's 80 top 8 spots across all the tournaments. Onomats got 39 of those. That's 49% of all top 8 finishes were Onomats. Then if you go to top 4s, that means there's 40 top 4 spots, right? They got 26 of those, which equals out to
almost,
like 65%.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means if you build an Onomat deck and you enter a tournament, you have almost a 50% chance of getting into the top 8 of a tournament.
You have a 52% chance getting into the top 32, then a 50% chance getting in the top 8, and then a 65% chance of getting to the top 4.
Dude, thank God that, Duel Links is not a slot machine, because if it were, those odds, those are the most cracked odds out of any deck in Duel Links. 52% that you make it into the top cut of a tournament, your first time entering a tournament, as long as you read the Onomat cards, you're good to go.
You have better than a half a shot, right? Check this out. So, Battle Step 7, I think it was, and then Ruby League, both of them, both top 4s, all Onomats. All Onomats. There was a tournament where
There was
Rai,
no competition.
there was one where Rai was casting. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be an Onomat finals." He's like, "Well, we're done for the night. I'm not gonna stream anymore." He ended the stream before the finals. He's like, "We're done. I'm out of here."
Oh my gosh. I pray on Thursday that it is not the same, but we have had Onomat winners back-to-back weeks on Battle Phase Thursday, so not looking good there either.
All right. Did you want to talk about control Onomats a little bit, or do you want to?
Yeah, we did. I did, because Control Onomats did make a very large appearance at the Capricorn Grand Tournament this past weekend. Many people brought it because they felt that, playing a different deck against Onomats with the control style would not do as good as just Onomats with traps. So that's what people did. If you can picture this list on screen, but without like most of those spells or do draw, they just played Fiendish Chain, Floodgate, Canadia, just straight up traps to supplement the lack of being able to remove your opponent's stuff. And they just played the core Onomats and Gaga Head at 3. Gaga Head is one of the more used monsters in the Control Onomat build because it allows you to get a lot of value off of just having one monster, and having just that one monster is good when you are
you can grind, right? When you're just
and you're gonna have primarily traps on the field,
right? So you're just flipping stuff down, playing the long game.
Yeah, so that deck did extremely well, and a player did go undefeated with Control Onomats in the Capricorn Grand Tournament. So expect to see that in tournaments on the ladder. May not be what you guys want to hear, but expect to see that catching on because it is extremely competent.
All right, let's look at all the other stuff that happened then, if there is anything else that happened. Okay, so overall representation, they practically tripled the deck below them.
Yeah, Thunder Dragons have stepped up, right? Well, we saw this over the weekend as well. Thunder Dragons being able to make those powerful Xyz monsters is the closest thing to coming in within the power level of Onomats right now, and Thunder Dragons can do it.
Top 8 conversions, we already kind of know this one, but hey, other decks are trying. I give them that. They're trying. They're getting there. Top 8 finishes, this is just hilarious.
That is ridiculous, dude.
The overall scores, are you guys ready?
Sure knew we got one. They got one. I thought sure knew was the Onomat counter. They got one top 8. Oh my god!
Well, when you're playing just as many traps, right? Well, this is before that, but just wait. Okay, and then overall scores. You ready?
Oh no! Oh,
I wasn't making slides and transitions for all this crap.
It's the next highest score.
100-point difference.
Devastating.
If you weren't playing Onomats, you weren't playing this week. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you were definitely not even playing Duel Links at all.
There was they won 9 out of 10 tournaments, and I think Resonators got the other win. I think we could look that up quick, but
how did we go from having the most diverse meta to Onomat domination?
One card.
One month ago, we were like, "Hey, yeah, this is the best Duel Links has ever been, the most diverse meta. It's a really good time if you're playing rogue decks and tournaments. You can do really good." And then, boom, 100 points, 50-point victories. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was Resonators. They won Meta Freakly Friday, so that was the only win that wasn't Onomats this week.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. All right, and then the tier list. You ready for this? If this isn't tier 0, I don't know what to tell you anymore. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my!
In a tournament setting, I mean, 100 points. 100 points.
100 points. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Practically 50% to the top 8.
You can't not call it tier 0 because tier 0 can't just be defined as, a deck's oppressiveness, how they just automatically win against everything. But Onomats, they are seeing victory in so many different scenarios. I would argue you have to call them tier 0.
At least this
They're
past
just
week,
as effective.
We do it week to week, so people will be like, "No, how can you say that?" It's like, well, last week this is a tier 0 performance. They won 9 out of 10 community tournaments. They took the top 4 spots in 2 tournaments. You know, they took half of all top 8s, 65% of all top 4s. If that's not tier 0, your standard for tier 0 is so high. You know, I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore. So, yeah. What do you want to do, Kamel? Just get out of here and pray that maybe it changes this week.
I mean, what we got coming out next? How long to the box? How long we got? 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's gonna be a mini box. Oh no, that's gonna suck.
Maybe there's gonna be like some off deck that doesn't really have any relevance, like Inzectors. They're gonna release an XZs for it, and bam, water deck's back in there, baby.
Water deck
or something, no one expected.
Water deck is honestly the only thing that can save us now.
Exabeetle was so unexpected, and Onomats took advantage of it. Maybe something like that will happen in the next box.
Let's hope so.
But it'll probably benefit Onomats.
Definitely. In the end, it always will.
All roads lead to Onomats. All right, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Is this tier 0 or is this tier -1? I don't know. This is pretty dominant. This is statistically very dominant. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you get in the Discord because it's free. Tournaments are free. New player help is free. I'm Circus. That's Automat Kamel.
Peace out.
And we'll see you next time.